Forget everything you think you know about attraction. Machiavelli saw something most men will never notice, a hidden system in the mind that quietly controls desire. It doesn't matter how handsome you are or what you say. A woman's brain reacts to subtle signals and hidden triggers. When used the right way, those triggers make her feel naturally drawn to you, sometimes even obsessed without knowing why. This isn't about tricks or manipulation. It's about understanding attraction on a deep psychological level that shapes desire every day. In this video, I will reveal Machiavelli's secret observations about the female mind. Secrets so hidden most people miss them, yet they quietly shape attraction. Once you understand them, you will never see desire the same way again. Most men think attraction is simple. They believe charm, money, or looks do the work. A confident smile, a stylish outfit, or a clever compliment should be enough. But Machiavelli discovered something completely different. He studied royal courts, kings, nobles, and powerful women. He wasn't looking for romance. He watched behavior, patterns, emotional reactions, and what he saw changed the way attraction was understood forever. Women were not drawn to flashy appearances or words alone. Their minds responded to hidden signals they weren't even aware of. Attraction began before conscious thought. Emotion moved first, logic followed later. Most men miss this completely. They believe attraction must be earned through effort. But Machiavelli saw the truth. The mind works like a hidden system, silently evaluating behavior and guiding desire without logic. A woman can feel attraction without knowing why. She may think about a man unexpectedly, feel curiosity, feel pulled, all because of invisible mental signals her brain responds to automatically. These signals are natural. They require no lies or fake confidence. They exist in every mind and respond to specific cues. Cues Machiavelli noticed centuries ago while others remained blind. The most successful men didn't chase attention. They moved subtly, spoke calmly, acted in alignment with these hidden patterns. Women, without realizing it, followed their lead. Imagine a river. On the surface, gentle ripples anyone can see, but below, powerful currents move silently. Most men focus on the surface. Machiavelli studied the currents. He noticed how calm, confidence, emotional balance, and mystery mattered more than money or looks. These quiet signals shaped attraction far more than charm ever could. A woman's mind reacts to emotional undercurrents before she reacts to words. Her curiosity, desire, and interest are guided by forces she cannot explain but always feels. Most men try to impress loudly. Compliments, displays, effort, but attraction grows in silence. In what is felt, not shown. In what is sensed, not said. Once a man understands these hidden currents, he no longer forces attraction. He aligns with it. And when that happens, desire feels natural, effortless, and inevitable. A woman may feel drawn as if by instinct, as if no one is influencing her at all. Yet her mind is responding to patterns it has always followed. This is the genius of Machiavelli's observation. Attraction is not a battle, it is alignment. Most men waste energy trying to impress. Loud gestures, empty compliments, flashy displays. They miss the fact that a woman's mind is always scanning quietly, reacting to signals beneath awareness. Those who understand these currents move differently. Their presence creates influence without effort. It is subtle, almost invisible. And because it feels natural, it feels powerful. Attraction is not built with words or appearances. It is a quiet exchange of psychological signals that speak directly to emotion. Most men never learn this, so they struggle endlessly. When you understand these patterns, attraction stops feeling random. It becomes predictable, a system, a science of desire, behavior, and emotion that has existed for centuries. In this video, we explore these hidden currents of desire. We uncover what Machiavelli observed long before modern psychology explained it. You will see how a woman's mind reacts to subtle signals, why curiosity grows without effort, why desire deepens quietly while logic stays behind. This is not about manipulation or control, it is about awareness. seeing attraction as it truly is, not as movies or advice have misled you to believe. Once you understand this, relationships change. Conversations feel different, presence feels stronger. Women respond in ways that seem effortless and natural. Most men never reach this level because they rely on surface tactics. They chase reactions instead of understanding causes. But those who learn the hidden patterns stop chasing. They allow attraction to form on its own, guided by the mind's natural rhythms. A woman's attention follows emotional energy, not effort. She responds to how a man moves, pauses, and speaks far more than what he says. This is why some men appear magnetic without trying. They are aligned with the invisible system that governs desire. Once you see these forces at work, you can no longer unsee them. Every interaction reveals quiet signals shaping attraction beneath the surface. And from this point on, attraction stops being confusing. It becomes something you understand, guide, and experience naturally. Most men underestimate how layered human emotion really is. They notice a smile, hear polite words, and assume they understand what someone feels. But what they see is only the surface. Attraction does not start with obvious actions. It begins beneath awareness, in emotional patterns and instincts that influence responses long before conscious thought steps in. Machiavelli once compared influence to a river, calm on the surface, powerful underneath. What moves emotion is often quiet and unseen. Expressions like laughter or friendliness are only surface signals. Beneath them flow curiosity, emotional resonance, and attention that develops gradually. Many men believe attraction can be created through visible effort, constant compliments, gifts, or explanations. But surface actions rarely shape deeper emotional responses. Subtle cues matter more: a calm tone, composed body language, a steady, grounded presence. These communicate confidence and emotional balance without saying anything. The mind reacts before it reasons. Feeling comes before analysis. Connection forms in that silent space. This explains why some people seem naturally appealing. They are aligned with these emotional rhythms, not forcing outcomes. Sometimes attraction isn't fully understood by the person feeling it. It emerges from familiar patterns the mind recognizes without explanation. Superficial charm creates brief impressions. Emotional depth creates lasting memory. One fades quickly, the other stays. Real attraction grows through balance, not neediness, not distance, but calm confidence with a touch of unpredictability. Too much predictability feels dull. Too much chaos feels unsafe. Balance keeps interest alive. When this balance is understood, there's no need to chase or pressure. Connection develops naturally. Thoughts return on their own. Curiosity grows quietly. Interest deepens without force. This is the insight Machiavelli pointed toward. Influence is guided, not demanded. Felt, not forced. A woman's mind is always observing. Even in silence, it scans energy, confidence, and emotional control. These signals speak louder than words ever could. Men who talk too much reveal need. Men who over-explain expose insecurity. The mind senses imbalance instantly and attraction weakens. Quiet presence creates space. Space creates curiosity. And curiosity pulls attention naturally without pressure or force. This is why effort alone fails. Attraction responds to alignment, not chasing. To calm strength, not emotional noise. Machiavelli understood that influence works best when unseen. When it feels natural, it feels irresistible. The most compelling men never rush connection. They allow interest to grow at its own pace, guided by subtle emotional cues. A pause can say more than a compliment. A calm look can speak louder than a speech. Silence, used correctly, carries power. These moments bypass logic and speak directly to emotion. The mind responds before resistance forms. When attraction begins this way, it feels effortless. It doesn't feel forced, planned, or manipulated. Most men sabotage attraction by trying to secure it too quickly. They push for certainty instead of letting curiosity work. Uncertainty in small doses keeps the mind engaged. It creates focus without anxiety. Machiavelli saw that attention follows emotional rhythm. When the rhythm feels natural, desire deepens quietly. This rhythm cannot be faked. It comes from inner control, not technique. A man aligned with this flow feels grounded. His presence alone influences emotion. Attraction then becomes a response, not a goal. A result, not a pursuit. Most men never reach this level of understanding. They stay focused on tactics, lines, and strategies, believing attraction can be engineered through effort alone. But attraction does not respond to force. It responds to emotional signals the mind recognizes instantly and instinctively. A woman feels when a man is centered. She senses when his confidence is real, not performed. This authenticity creates trust at a subconscious level. Trust opens the door for curiosity and emotional connection. Machiavelli observed that the most influential men rarely explained themselves. Their actions spoke quietly and clearly. They understood timing, when to speak, when to pause, when to pull back and let interest grow on its own. This restraint separates magnetic men from anxious ones. One creates space, the other fills it with noise. A woman's mind is drawn to emotional stability. Calm energy signals safety, strength, and value without effort. Men who rush attention communicate insecurity. Men who remain grounded communicate control. Control here is not dominance over her. It is control over self, emotion, and reaction. When a man holds this inner balance, attraction unfolds naturally. He does not chase, he allows. Curiosity grows quietly. Emotional attachment forms slowly. Desire strengthens without pressure. This process feels organic. Nothing is forced. Nothing feels staged or artificial. Most men never experience this because they interfere. They try to speed up what should unfold, but those who understand patience gain influence without effort. Attraction deepens when a woman feels emotionally safe yet mentally stimulated. Calm presence creates safety. Subtle unpredictability creates intrigue. Too much certainty kills desire. Too much mystery creates distance. The balance keeps her attention alive. Machiavelli understood that desire lives between comfort and curiosity, not at either extreme. When a man masters this space, his presence lingers in her mind long after he leaves. She replays moments, remembers expressions, thinks about what was left unsaid. This is where real attraction grows, in silence, in memory, in emotion, not words. Men who rely on charm create sparks. Men who understand psychology create fires. One fades quickly. The other continues burning beneath the surface. A woman does not choose who she feels drawn to logically. Her mind responds first. Her thoughts follow later. This is why explaining yourself too much weakens attraction. Logic interrupts emotion. Machiavelli saw that power lies in restraint. In knowing when not to act, influence grows strongest when it feels unforced and natural. The quieter the signal, the deeper it reaches. Most men never learn this because they are taught to impress loudly. But attraction was never loud, it was always subtle. A woman's subconscious notices what her conscious mind ignores. Tone, timing, posture, and emotional control all register instantly. These signals communicate value without words. They bypass filters and speak directly to feeling. Men who understand this stop trying to prove themselves. Proof is unnecessary when presence speaks. Most attraction is decided before conversation even begins. Energy sets the frame long before logic engages. This is why chasing attention backfires. It disrupts the emotional rhythm her mind responds to. Machiavelli believed that those who control themselves control influence. Self-mastery creates emotional gravity. Others feel it even if they cannot name it. A woman drawn this way feels choice, not pressure. Her interest feels genuine and self-directed. When attraction forms beneath awareness, resistance never appears. That is why subtle influence lasts longer than surface excitement. Most men confuse stimulation with attraction. One entertains, the other connects. Real desire grows when emotion is engaged without overload. The mind protects itself from force. It opens to alignment. Those who align with these hidden patterns experience attraction as cooperation, not struggle. Effort decreases. Influence increases. A man who understands this no longer asks how to attract. He understands how attraction responds. He stops performing and starts embodying calm confidence and emotional control. This shift changes everything. Conversations slow down. Presence becomes heavier. Attention follows naturally. A woman feels this shift immediately. Something feels different, grounded, and quietly compelling. She may not describe it as attraction at first. She just feels drawn. Her curiosity activates. Her attention narrows. Emotional focus begins to settle. This is how desire grows without force, without persuasion, without pressure. Machiavelli understood that influence is strongest when it feels like choice. A woman believes she chose the attraction herself, and in that belief, desire deepens. Men who lack this understanding try to convince. Men who have it never need to. Convincing creates resistance. Alignment creates flow. Attraction thrives in flow, not friction. This is why subtle men outperform loud ones over time. Noise fades, presence remains. And presence is what the mind remembers. Most men never slow down enough to notice these dynamics. They rush, they fill silence, they explain too much. In doing so, they interrupt attraction before it has time to form. Attraction needs space. Space allows emotion to breathe and curiosity to grow. When a man gives space without withdrawing, interest deepens. This balance is rare, and rarity creates value in the mind. A woman feels when a man is comfortable with silence. That comfort signals strength. Strength does not need to announce itself. It is felt. Machiavelli observed that the most powerful influence is invisible. When influence is obvious, resistance appears. When it is subtle, the mind welcomes it. This is why manipulation fails long-term. It feels forced. Alignment succeeds because it feels natural. A woman drawn this way feels agency, not pressure. Her attraction feels like her own decision, and that makes it stronger and more enduring. This is why attraction cannot be forced or rushed. The mind resists pressure but responds to rhythm. When rhythm is right, emotion follows effortlessly. Machiavelli understood that timing is everything. Acting too soon breaks tension. Acting too late kills momentum. The right moment feels natural, not calculated. A man who understands timing knows when to engage and when to pull back. This creates emotional movement instead of stagnation. Most men fear pulling back because they fear losing attention. But pulling back at the right time creates curiosity, not loss. A woman begins to wonder, to notice absence, to feel the gap. That gap is where desire grows. Machiavelli saw that absence, when controlled, amplifies presence. Value increases when access is not unlimited. This is not rejection, it is restraint. Restraint signals self-respect and emotional control, and the mind responds to that signal instantly. Most attraction dies not from lack of interest, but from excess. Too many words, too much availability, too much effort. Desire needs uncertainty to stay alive. Certainty brings comfort. Comfort ends tension. A man who is always accessible removes the mystery. Mystery is not secrecy, it is depth revealed slowly. When everything is given up front, nothing is discovered. Discovery is what creates emotional investment. Machiavelli warned that familiarity breeds contempt when not balanced by respect. Respect is earned through boundaries. Boundaries define where access ends. They communicate value without explanation. A woman senses these limits immediately. She adjusts her behavior to them, and attraction stabilizes instead of fading. Boundaries are not walls, they are signals. They show a man values his time, energy, and attention. Value attracts value. When a man respects himself, a woman instinctively responds. Machiavelli understood that power begins internally, not externally. A man who controls his reactions controls the emotional frame. He does not chase validation. He allows interest to reveal itself. This patience creates contrast, and contrast creates attraction. Most men collapse contrast by being too eager. Eagerness signals imbalance, even when intentions are good. A woman senses this immediately and pulls back emotionally. But when a man remains steady, attraction feels safe and exciting. Safety allows curiosity to grow without fear. Excitement keeps emotion engaged without boredom. This balance is rare, which makes it powerful. Machiavelli observed that rarity always increases desire, and desire follows what feels uncommon and controlled. Most men try to stand out by doing more, saying more, showing more. But standing out often comes from restraint, not excess. Silence, when grounded, creates presence. Presence creates impact. A woman notices the man who does not compete for attention. He feels different, unrushed, unneedy-centered. This difference triggers curiosity before attraction is even conscious. Machiavelli understood that influence grows when others lean in. Leaning in happens when space is respected. Most men fill space because they fear losing relevance. But relevance is not maintained by noise. It is maintained by emotional weight. Emotional weight comes from consistency, calmness, and control. A woman feels this weight without being able to explain it. She senses depth, stability, quiet confidence. These qualities speak directly to instinct, not logic. Instinct guides attraction long before reason enters, and instinct rarely explains itself.